Good morning, good evening, good night. Welcome to NFT Live on the Web3 Network. We've got about an hour, give or take, to take you around the industry. Excited to be sitting here with my fellow co-hosts. Once again, we got the quad box rolling. We're gonna get after it today. Talking some blast exploits. I'm tired, guys. I'm tired. Who is this? Which one of you is this?
Oh, good Lord.
Which one of you is this?
Dude.
That's Biggie. He's the one who's been asking for it.
Dude, that's a fucking Chad right there, whoever that is.
Absolutely. The reputation score out of this world there, GIF.
Yeah.
For this guy.
Solid.
What are we looking at?
We're looking at buys and sells.
Yeah. That's a chart. That's a real chart right there. That's a man's chart.
And that's what, Bitcoin? What is that?
I have no it's a meme at this
I
point.
I love it, whatever it is.
Or just like a full-on degen, like dyed in the wool degen, like we've never seen them before.
Dude,
That's a lot of Adderall.
Shout out BK, who actually taught me and some of the people in our Discord how to see your buys and sells on Dex Screener. So if you go to Maker at the bottom, you click Maker and put in your wallet address for whatever you're trading that coin with, it should pull up your transactions and add in the buys and sells. I just learned that recently. So I know that's cool. Like an obvious thing that I should have known. I get it. But you know what? I just learned that a couple days ago.
Like Biggie didn't know either.
I'm fucking just learning this. I don't know if I want to look though. Like
I thought I was sitting up here with some fucking Chads, dude.
Look,
bro,
you gotta learn the tools.
We're always the good old fucking spreadsheet. You know,
yeah.
like
I like my spreadsheets. It works out.
Yeah,
you're right.
Okay. Look, we're always learning together.
Fair.
We're always getting better. Smash the like for the quad box. Huda's back. Let's fucking go.
Huda be back. Hey, we're giving away a NFT here. We're giving away a whitelist spot here on the show today.
Oh,
so we are gonna drop those details here in just a moment. It's gonna be related to the video over on X. I know I see a ton of you guys already filling up the comment section here on YouTube, but we're going to do a giveaway over there on X as well. We'll likely have to deal with some comments and things and interacting on that side on Elon's app. But yeah, good to see you guys in the house today. Let's go around the quad box real quick. Get after it. Huda, nice to see you. It's Wednesday, dude, and I haven't seen your face.
Yeah, I don't like that one bit. And even like yesterday, it didn't even enter my head that I wasn't going to be on. It's just like Tuesdays are newsletter day, so is Monday. But like a lot of writing, there's just so much going on. So like all of a sudden I look at the clock, I'm like, oh my God, it's like just about go time. There's no way I'm going to make it. No way. So bummed about that. Like I already don't like missing Mondays, but 2 days in a row feels bad, man. Feels real bad. So it feels awesome being back here with you guys.
Well,
it's spring break period.
You with a whole new moniker.
Oh no,
I did. Yeah. The Wicked Wizard of Wookiee Web 3. Wicked?
God, I love that.
I'm not taking account for that.
No part of that.
I dig it. Do you want to hear my Wookiee impression?
Yes, do it.
I'll do that later. That's how I'll send us out today.
Oh, I was giving you a full screen action there.
I gotta warm up the vocals for that. It's pretty good. My brother taught me. Yeah. You should hear Henry do it though. It's amazing.
No way. Okay.
All right, guys, we have some breaking pieces of news here that I want to touch on just up front. Before we do that, we got to add that we are not financial advisors. We're going to let GIF handle the handy dandy here. But yes, let's do it.
You just front ran it. You just did it.
I just a little bit. I laid the foundation.
Look, it's not financial advice. Do not speckle. This commandment of thou shalt not speckle was handed down to us from Lord Cuban himself, and we now abide by this one law. And it's just, don't take it as financial advice. Do your own research. Y'all know what it is. Be smart. Take responsibility. Don't be like the Kamigami guys and try and put all the accountability on for everybody else for all of your bad decisions. Don't be that amateur hour nonsense, whatever.
Whiner.
Your bags.
Don't put that on me, Ricky Bobby. Don't you put that evil on me. All right, so let's get into the breaking news here. Huda, I am interested on what you were able to cover this morning. I know you do the 5 to 10 minute updates every single day, and that's just not through the week. It's through the weekend, guys. This man is grinding. I do have a quick update from the Parallel side. Looks like Parallel Shop just went live, like literally 5 minutes ago. This popped up. Obviously, Prime and Parallel are some of the top performers on the GameFi side. And look, GIF, you can buy a Shroud hat. You can buy a full Shroud hat. You can buy a Parallel tee. You got some starter decks, but it looks like okay. All right, so this is an ETH Prime and USD.
And you can pay in ETH or fiat. Dirty fiat. Wow.
This better be over on base.
I mean, that is a pretty dope hoodie, but I've got so many black hoodies that I probably shouldn't, you know. Also, I have PTSD from spending, I think it was like thousands of ape coin on that second merch drop. Yeah. Anyway. Let's not talk about the fact. Yeah, let's not talk about the fact that these fucking sweatpants might have cost $1,000. Let's not talk about that. Anyway,
it's all fake money at that point, though, right?
Yeah, it's just magic internet's money is.
All right, yeah. Big shout out to Parallel for getting that off the ground. I know they've kind of leaked out, and maybe the better term is dripped out that merch for a little while. You see people wearing Prime hats, Prime hoodies. But it looks like that's a full rollout for their shop. So big time. Another utility for Prime as well, if people are loaded up on Prime. We're just getting started here. I did want to talk...
Before we continue, I do want to harp on this one thing. Who's wearing the most expensive merch in this quad box right now?
Ooh, interesting.
I got like $5 worth of clothes.
Sir.
This sweatshirt is like Under Armour, $30.
You're not paying attention.
Oh, Wagme United.
Wow,
that was expensive. That was very expensive. These pants. This shirt was like fair price because I got it. You know, I got this at their activation, the Gutter Cats activation in Miami. But these sweatpants were not cheap. So
nice,
dude. Gutter Cat, despite where they're at right now, has had some of the better merch drops in the entire history of
some of these guys just do merch right. They really do. Biggie, is that the hat that's got the chromie squiggle on it?
Yep. Sure is.
Oh shit, dude, I got like 15 of those in my closet.
No,
I went way too hard into that project.
Yeah.
Wait, you're in Wagner United?
Yeah. Dude, had the chance to get in at the what do they call that?
Early seed?
You have a investor level of that one. Like,
who
you dumped on us, didn't you?
Go crazy.
I didn't get in.
Son of a.
I didn't get in. We didn't do it.
Wow, you're lucky. I was about to boot you on stage, dumping on us.
I would never. I am not happy with that project.
Yeah, Crawley Town actually is sitting in like the top 8 of their league right now. So thank God the man got it back on track, because eventually it was like, we're going to take this team to the Premier League using NFTs. And then everything, like an atomic bomb of FUD, of like this, the people hate NFTs. The team was about to get relegated. The merch kind of sucked and was late, like everything. And at least he's keeping the team up.
None of that trickles back to the NFT holders in any way whatsoever. Like, I even heard their Discord's been silent for months. I haven't popped in to check, but Beanie was shitting on him just a day or two ago. And yeah, it's a bummer. It's a real bummer.
All right, I want to touch in on this this Machi piece here in just a second. I had the right link, but if anybody has the transaction here, or the transaction hash or the contract address, let me know. He's doing a pre-sale, and let's just jump into it.
Are y'all gonna ape in on Machi's pre-sale?
No, sir. I only ape into premier blue chip shit coins. None of this second-rate shit.
All right, Chris Coffee ETH here saying Machi has raised over 25 million in under 2 hours. Let's play a game and guess how much the bots will snipe when it goes live. You can see there the Sol, 140,000 Sol. I need to find this contract address. Marty, if you want to send it to me, I'll try to pull this up for the folks on stream here. But yes, we're sitting in the $25 million range. I'm not getting involved in this from the sheer numbers. I feel like, again, the pre-sale risk to reward is better when not everybody knows about it. Obviously, that's a little bit risky, but you, again, like when it comes to 100x returns or something, I'm going to be looking at pre-sales that doesn't have 25 million associated. Go ahead, Gif.
Yeah, well, these things can go one of two ways, right? You already laid out the possibility that it doesn't go well, that happens. But when you get this much interest and awareness and that much into a pre-sale, it can also fucking moon. So this could go well, but you do know that you're going to be dealing with a ton of sniper bots and a bunch of people in the pre-sale that are going to be dumping. So expect extreme volatility. I might throw like one soul at this just to be in the game, and who knows, maybe it goes well. But I would definitely not like overcommit or size.
Yeah.
I would not put size into this.
Hey, real quick. Continue the thought. I'm just kind of resetting your mic. Go ahead.
Yeah, my sort of experience with these pre-sales so far is that it's kind of 50-50. You know, it's like you'll hit on one or two of them. But it's literally like flipping a coin. A lot of them do not go well. I think what I would say is that because Machi is a more experienced operator than a lot of like the artists or the randos that have been trying to launch them, I would at least expect that he knows how to like hire the right devs and get a liquidity pool set up before it launches and sort of do like the basic things that you need for the launch to go.
Can I interject here? When you say he's a great operator or a good operator,
I said experience.
Are you talking about his dating app that has yet to fucking launch?
No, because I got wrecked on that one. So that's part of why I wouldn't. No, but my point is that what I said is he's more experienced. I didn't necessarily say he's a great operator.
I know, but I wasn't being hard on you as so much as I was being hard on Machi.
He's definitely more experienced. And no, that experience, I think both Huda and I jumped in on that one. I was like interested in the like token offering that he was doing, but I lost money on his.
Oh,
right. So
yeah, so, keep going.
Well, anyway, what the point is for me, I might like throw a small amount. I would not gamble too heavy on this. It's kind of a coin flip if it goes well or not. There's going to be a lot of dumpers. So I said that. I will say this though, on the pre-sale front, Biggie, you brought that new Crispin one, Rainworms. I threw actually a little bit more size than I normally would at that one because I'm very interested in that project.
All right, Marty's saying Nick is down 25% in the last 24 hours, less than a penny from 0.06 cents. Sir, it's still up 2x from the last time when we made the bet. It was at 4 million sitting on Friday. We called it. We called it like tripled up, but we were saying over under, and it was far over. We are still over. So until it gets back down to that 4 million mark, I will not experience this FUD. Also,
Marty's trying to trigger us. That's what he's doing here.
Yeah,
his
entire
and then here comes the yield. Yep, I'm starting to suspect that he bought the top and he's just a bag holder.
Wow.
It's so much hate from you, Marty, like way beyond what you've thrown at Cairo or anybody else, that I'm like, either this dude has a nose fetish or he bought the tippity top. One of the two. I don't know. I can't tell, but I love you. I love you, and I wish you well.
A couple quick updates here. This is the Machi tweet, right? Or I guess Boba Appa. Boba Appa? Boba Appa?
That's an
Boba Opa.
Boba Opa. Minimum 1 soul contract address is here. Takes you to a whopping 27 million now for this pre-sale having been raised. That's a lot of liquidity, folks. This is getting interesting, as they like to say, when it comes to whether this does well or not.
I'm going to throw 1 soul in.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I'm going to too.
And were you listening to our financial advice there, Huda?
I do it every time you guys talk about something. I usually live buy it, and
great.
I've not done well.
All right, if the Feds, wow. If the Feds,
wait, that's not a comment. I hesitated. It's not a comment on you guys. It's my time.
This is 30 minutes more. I don't know if I'm looking at the right one or not. But this one that came up says 30 minutes more, and that was an hour ago, so it might be closed.
Shit.
Yeah, so be careful also with these things, that there's always going to be a lot of fakes out there trying to get you to send money to them.
Yeah, I mean,
so I was looking at a fake one. So yeah, this might still be open because it just posted it an hour ago. So I'm gonna send 1 soul and see what happens.
Just find the real one.
Just be very careful with this, guys. I would go to Machi's profile first.
Yeah, go to Machi's profile because he reposted the right one.
Okay.
All right. Also, Marty's dropping the contract address saying, I took part in Machi. He is the face of BAYC after all. There you go.
I like that.
Although that's not the case now, right? I thought it was Garga and some of the rest. Hey, speaking of 50-50, this scene belongs in crypto lore forever.
Hey, seriously, is this safe? driving to Baghdad?
Yes, very safe. 50-50.
Yeah.
50-50, what, like 50% we live, 50% we die?
Yes, that's why we drive through night.
YOLO.
50 MF and 50. 50% you live, 50% you die. That's as far as it goes here in crypto. Full stop. All right, we're tracking this Machi pre-sale up to $27 million. We did want to get into this this Blast exploit here. Blast NFT game Munchables. This is by Decrypt, by the way. Also, did Decrypt get hacked as well?
Their email did. It's crazy. Yesterday was a really wild day.
That's been going on forever. Like I unsubscribed from Decrypt years ago, and I still get emails from them telling me about token claims for like I literally like just have to, every now and then like some of them will get past the filter and I have to set up a new one. But like they are absolute like it's like Nigerian princes and Decrypt emails about a fucking token.
This is unbelievably meta. Huda, jump into this because we're looking at a Decrypt news article about Decrypt being hacked. Don't click links. That's what they're saying.
It's crazy. I like that they put that up there. I mean, I feel like they do such a great job at being like a part of the community. They feel like a community almost run platform, which they're not, but they give that vibe. So I love that they put this up there like front and center. But yeah, I mean, pretty darn shitty, like on the heels of what's happening over on Blast or happened there yesterday, to have such a major platform get hacked too. I want to hear the follow-up of as far as how much was lost, right? Like who clicked the link, what did they lose? I want to see the impact here.
Yeah, coming from a reputable publication, like Decrypt has been around a long time. They did just get bought up by Rug Radio, I think, what was that, 2 months ago? Something like that.
They
Like
merged. They merged. So I don't actually know who bought who really on that, but they merged. Also, I'm reposting the right Boba Opa from the Web3X account. Go follow us on X. And I did just send 1 soul on my Phantom wallet. So
all right, I got a dumb question. Because like I don't play these things ever. When they write, you got to like and retweet and drop your address. You don't have to do that, right? That's just pure engagement shit, right? They're not going to go through the tweet 50, and look 50. For anything. Like
it's 50-50. Hey.
Really?
I mean, look, here's the thing. They don't actually have any way to connect all those back to the proper accounts. If they're not making you take those extra steps of go to our system, log in, put your X account with your wallet. If you're not having to do any of that, then there's no way for them to track all that. And then essentially they'd have to refund all the fucking money that they got. So I don't know. That's
they don't just go by what's on the blockchain, like X address sent this amount, send them this.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's probably what they have to do. But you're talking about the engagement aspect of it, right?
Yeah.
So 50-50. But like, I don't think.
I'm not doing it. We'll see. We'll know for next time.
All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to give away this whitelist for the CryptoSlam NFTs. We'll be doing this periodically, by the way. I think we're going to be potentially doing it once a day for the foreseeable future. Hood has been very, very generous with the whitelist that we are getting here for NFT Live. And basically, the entire summer is going to be a fucking blast. That's basically what it comes down to. All right, so this is what we're going to do. I have a CryptoSlam post here. We're watching ourselves. This is also very meta. Say what? CryptoSlam NFT whitelists are being given away on NFT Live. This is what you do. Head over to the CryptoSlam version of this and drop in the comments your best 50-50 GIF. I want a 50-50 GIF. I want a 50-50 meme. Something related to this 50-50 that we keep bringing up. We will choose one winner here on the show before we end today. You'll need to submit a soul address. Just remember this. Submit the soul address.
And we should say, if you already do have a whitelist, just give another soul address. Double dip.
Right.
Go ahead.
There you go. Just leaning into the double dip. I like it. All right. Boba Opa. We'll see what happens here. I agree with XNFT. Again, if it led to some type of cap, XNFT saying I went too hard into Boba Opa. I thought he would have capped it quickly. As that number continues to go up, we're sitting again at 27 milli. If it goes to 30, if it goes to 35, who knows what it ends at? That's just less of a distribution for all the folks that actually put in. Give me the loot saying Blast Chain to go back to not existing. LOL. Why? Blast did have a little bit of a run here over the last 48 hours, and then they had to deal with this exploit, which I guess we can dive into as our next big topic. But before that, we did cover Decrypt. We covered this Boba Opa here. We'll still follow it throughout the show. But Huda, I want to tee you up here since you did your morning minute updates today. What was the biggest piece that you kind of got throughout the ecosystem right now that is happening?
Man, let me think here. Definitely the Sense Mint, I think, is still a little under the radar, but also it's picking up steam over on Bitcoin. So that was that, what was it, like a 9,000 or 10,000 edition, penny collection. It's a super cool, I don't know, it's just got a cool story about it. And they still haven't revealed the artist, and it is a kind of cool artist. So that I thought was a big deal. Again, it's picking up steam, and I think, man, of course, never financial advice, but I think there's an opportunity right there still on secondary. Just picture Floriforms, and I think this will do similar to that in the long run. I also noticed...
Is that trading on secondary now, Huda?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, Magic Eden and on Gamma. And, it's great seeing a whole bunch of tweets out there about it. Just gives me more conviction that what I think is going to happen is... I don't think anything crazy, but, I think it's a decent little collection. Very artsy.
And these things degrade, right? Is they're dynamic?
But that is the rarity in the collection. Like the shittier your penny looks and the older it is, the rarer it is. Also, like kind of the wear on the penny, and some of them have like little stamps, little marks on them. So that's just all about rarity.
Yeah.
All right, I don't see them on secondary here.
It's weird. You don't I didn't notice them there too. Toggle on the Bitcoin,
yeah, that's
one, but again, I didn't see a lot either. Okay, now it's there. Cool. Yeah. So it's like, as a kid, did you ever just like sort through like piles of pennies and look for rare pennies? I used to do that, like just nerdy shit, I guess. But it feels very similar here. So it's pretty cool.
When I found out, what is it? The rarest one, it's like an Indian penny, right? And it's got an Indian like bust on, and I think it's like worth. I remember when I found out that it's like worth so many hundreds of thousands. I don't know what it was. I did that. I immediately started like looking through pennies, hoping I'd stumble upon one. Yeah, and it's got like a good, I don't know, it communicates a lot, especially to us that are in this space without having to say much, right? Which is very cool. Yeah, I like it.
In the long run, there's like this cool narrative that can play out if you can have this, penny that is saved on Bitcoin that is worth much, much more than a penny. And just, it's going to make a cool story. It'll actually make news. I think because the artist has actually made news before, like mainstream news, I think this has that kind of potential. So yeah, a lot of interesting shit with this one. It's pretty cool.
I agree that it has this interesting narrative and that there's something there. And Huda has a good track record of like calling Bitcoin projects kind of early, so I don't doubt it. But I'll tell you, when I kind of was looking at it, I missed the mint, and then I started looking at it on secondary. My initial thought for myself was that like this is one of those things that like maybe it has a life, but like ultimately does it become something that people really spend a lot of time with in the future? And do I really want to be putting my Bitcoin into everything like this? Because for me, I'm trying to not do the same thing that I did with ETH, which was like ape into almost anything that was like the story of the moment. Everything has a cool narrative, and like you can find the good in everything. But now look where everything's at now. Like most people don't give a shit about any of it. And so because it's BTC, and I'm going to be very, very careful with my BTC, I'm just like, while I agree, I don't know that it's something that I necessarily need to have. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
It's a super great point. In fact, like I'm worried about that oversaturation right now too. It's coming. We're not there yet, but it's getting real close, and we might be there right now. So I'm with you with the being super selective. I look at this one not like it's going to get anywhere astronomical, but I think I see a 3 to 5x in there. So for me right now, I'm going to take ones that I feel are automatic, but I'm with you. Long term, it's a cool project. That's it.
On the saturation point, doesn't the halving present a sort of like a way to stop some of that? Because I think if I understand that, like it's easy, it's already extremely expensive to inscribe a bunch of NFTs and ordinals. But I think my understanding is that after the halving, it's probably going to become even more expensive. So I think you kind of have this moment in this window where you get a lot more people trying to mint and inscribe, and then it could be so expensive that you might not actually get as much saturation.
That is a narrative I've not seen enough people talking about, but it's there. Like, man, we saw that Sense collection didn't mint out. It barely minted at first because fees were so high. So what happens when Bitcoin, like a lot of us think, gets to $250,000, maybe goes even higher? Like, what happens when that happens and it becomes so expensive to mint on Bitcoin that you don't, and you only worry about what exists already? So yeah, the supply could just all of a sudden, drop off a cliff, and it's kind of capped in a way, lightly. It's interesting, man.
How do these collections plan on sustaining for like multiple years? Is it just from the funds raised? We know that the royalties thing is not, but that doesn't mean that was the, again, fundamental business model of we're just going to collect royalties. I think Biggie's talked about this. We've all kind of hinted at, like, you don't base your entire business model around royalties, but how do they go about existing from a team standpoint past a year or two runway that they have?
I don't know that they will or care. I feel like the spirit over on Bitcoin is much more about it's just a collectible. And maybe that's not true for all the projects, but that's the vibe I get. That's what I go into any NFT over there or Ordinal. Like, that's my mindset. I don't picture anything beyond the initial, collectible, whatever it is, piece of art.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm going to really quickly show this off. There were some comments that I'm going to get to as well. I forgot to drop the link, so I'm going to do it one more time here. That's over on YouTube. I just dropped the link, but if you're on X, go over to CryptoSlam.io. You can see this post. You have to drop a 50-50 meme. That's the requirement here. No like, no repost. Actually, fuck it. Like or repost too. If you want to get after it, go do it. I'm really looking at here the replies. So as long as you leave a dope 50-50 GIF or meme, as we see here, we're splitting the kitty 50-50. Baywatch me, so love that from Dubious. That is how you get entered into this giveaway for the CryptoSlam NFT. This is going to be, I believe, a free mint here. But yeah, details to come. So yeah, love it. Appreciate Dubious for hitting that. I'm going to be continuously sharing out the show. We're almost halfway through here. What do we want to jump into, fellas? We touched on Machi's.
Look at brainworms.
Okay.
Pull up that video. Trailer Maxis, bro.
Dude,
Brainworms? Is that what you said?
you're gonna love
Yes.
this, Huda.
Oh man, I can't.
You're gonna
Dude,
love
this is the pre-sale that I actually did ape into a little bit, or I went a little bit harder into this pre-sale.
Yikes. All right. I do want to put a disclaimer on any videos we show on YouTube. We don't want to play it for its entirety, especially when it's another YouTube video. We could get like shadow banned completely. So I'll share it, see how it goes. But there will be pauses.
Yes, I want to enhance my intelligence, and I've heard about brainworms, but I'm a little skeptical. I mean, worms in my brain?
Yes, that's right, Jessica. At Dell Complex, we have developed brainworms, and our on-chain simulation using ERC 404s is coming soon on the Base network.
But how
All right. Where do I ape?
I fucking love this.
does it work?
I'm glad you asked. It's a smart contract that creates generative brainworms and evolves them in a simulation of a human mind.
Each brainworm can gather resources, stimulate various areas of the brain, and engage in PvP combat to secure their dominance.
Yeah.
I need to see this project. All right, hold on. We're going to share that video continuously. Dell Complex is proud to present Brainworms, fully on-chain generative brain parasite system built on ERC 404. This is on Base, by the way. I'm guessing the contract is closed, Gifted?
No, I think it will be.
so.
No, it was just for a 10% boost or something. It says 10,
20. Yeah.
something like that, like in the first 48 hours. This is the creator, just so you, in case you've heard of him, Huda, he's an art blocks artist. He's like a Da Vinci man.
Oh, dude, it's Sterling. I love this guy.
Yeah. Okay.
Dude, he's
so,
awesome.
so this is coming out of his Dell Complex, like online performance art piece. I don't know if you're familiar with it as well. Really cool. 404, man. It looks like it's gonna be fun.
Incredible. Okay.
How much raised?
I don't know.
I'll go to Base Scan.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
so
it's
it's send
Base and
ETH on
ETH.
Base, right?
Base.
You can
and
send. Yeah, so he's accepting either way because again it's tied to the same Ethereum address. That's the power of Ethereum, EVM, L2, whatever. So I actually sent a little bit from Base and a little bit from Ethereum because I was like, I feel like underexposed to this. And here's why. you have in this one project a bunch of really interesting key narratives right now. You've got base, you've got 404s, you've got
AI.
legitimate, artists, art blocks, like really awesome creators, AI, crypto together. Like there's all of these key narratives.
There's a gaming component to it too, right? Like some PvP thing that he's talking about.
So it's just like, it seems like this project is literally like, oh, we can, if we're creative enough and we've got the executional skills, we can actually combine all of these into a really fucking cool thing. So I don't know. That's why I'm interested. It just seems like it's got all the fucking narratives that you want in one thing right now.
Yeah. So I don't know the comparison here. I haven't participated in a lot of pre-sales on base specifically, but right now it looks like based on both numbers on ETH and base, you see 144,000 raised on base, and then you see another 47,000 raised on ETH. So a total of 200K. I don't know where that ranks, if that's underexposed or maybe overexposed on the fact of like what the community has been raising in a couple of these pre-sales. Do we know?
Here's what I'll say.
Yeah, I don't know.
Given what we just saw with Machi,
yeah, but that's what
I feel underexposed to this.
I know, but I don't think that's the right comparison. We need to find a smaller project comparison and see what they did. I don't know if the Machi.
I think something like Turbo, something that, like an artist kind of token. At that point, then you can kind of think Bohm, but Bohm is so heavily into, memes. So, but it's somewhere more like that, I think.
Do you know how much it was raised?
No, but Turbo was definitely a much smaller kind of ceiling to it.
Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, I wish we had that answer, man, because that feels like not a lot. I want to say that's not a lot, but again, if we don't have the comparison with a not a Machi raise, I'm hesitant.
I just feel like you were saying that, when you get that many people on something that you're kind of diluted or you get much less for a legitimate project like this from a real artist. Dude, Turbo did really fucking well. Turbo is a winner from that last cycle. Turbo is one of my biggest allocations still. Full transparency.
I think you're talking about something else, aren't you, Huda? Or is it the AI Turbo?
It's the AI Turbo. Yeah.
Oh, there was a pre-sale for that?
That was an artist. Yeah. Well, I think he's drawing a comparison here because it was like an artist that used this sort of creative AI narrative to spin up a token that was not like, a big well-known person. Like he was established enough as an artist, but he wasn't like a huge personality in the space before this. So looking at that as sort of like, where could this go? I agree. I think that's a pretty solid.
If you want to get a notion of where this could go, dive into Dell Complex, the website itself. It's like, it's very interesting. It's the rabbit hole goes very, very deep, but like basically you enlist, you become an employee, and then you're granted certain access to certain research and certain like insights within the company as you progress. There's NFTs that you can collect that represent that, and then
Scientology.
The crazy, it's nuts, dude. What I find crazy is that like he told us back in Marvel, he was like, people like are reaching out, like had been, and this is when he was just starting it, but it looks so legit, and it's like. And I'm sorry, I'm not like blowing it out there too much. I hope. Sorry, I probably should like stop saying so much. But yeah, it's like people are really engaging with this, right? Like it's treated 100% like this is real. This is what's happening right now, right? So we're gonna do brainworms, people. That's pretty dope.
It looks cool as hell. By the way, Turbo's got like a $50 million market cap now, and I think at its peak it was
like 80.
Plus. Is it?
It's like 80. Yeah, Turbo's legit. So anyway,
all right, so I guess like we could probably come to some comparison of measuring this market cap, right? So a raise does not equal market cap. So they have 200,000 that they're raising here or selling or however you want to term it, based on the amount of NFTs. Like it's uncapped. I'm guessing they're just like seeing. I just want to know what the fucking market cap is on this to come out the gate.
Yeah, so I don't know that you'll know. The market cap is definitely a function of the pre-sale. Like, it'll be somehow related to it, or if you raise more in the pre-sale, you can attain a higher market cap more likely. So there's some kind of function there. I don't know exactly how, you can spell that out in any sort of conclusive terms, but with a 404, you do usually tie it to a specific number of total NFTs. And so each NFT is worth a certain amount of that fungible token. So it could be like 100,000, of the ERC20s equals one NFT. And then again, you can kind of re-roll it by buying and selling it again, which is one of the cool features. It'll be interesting to see how that fits into a PvP game because, some of them will have probably different capabilities, like fighting capabilities. So if you want to re-roll to get certain capabilities to fight them, I just think this is going to be really fucking interesting. And I think because of all the narratives, I'm very bullish on it. So yeah, sorry if it seems like we're overhyping it. We don't know. This is all gambling, but a legitimate artist, cool idea, a lot of cool narratives.
So it's a
I'm going
token
into this
and a
one.
coin?
Each worm is an ERC 404 token, a novel mix between ERC 721s and ERC 20, the best of both worlds.
Our long-term goal is to parasite cognitive enhancing the intelligence of the host human species.
Warning: hosting brainworms may trigger severe complications for those with certain medical conditions, serious side effects, screaming, consultations with medications or substances, and fatal.
All right.
Man, I'm so excited to see the like technical guys getting in and playing. Like this is a perfect example.
This is the
I
type-
love seeing Nate Alex right now getting in with primitives, like or natives. I think it is now. I can't remember.
We
what
were
that
just
one-
complaining about the lack of this on Say, right? Like what seems to be
innovation.
like innovation, interesting founders, like that are pushing some interesting narratives. Yeah. This is it.
Yeah, the interesting smart people are not going to Say at the moment, and that's unfortunate because there's a lot of not less smart people that are trying to get people in. But anyway, what's the point? Point is, when 404s first launched and they had their moment, my thesis on it was like, there's actually something very interesting to this smashing together and taking the best of ERC 20 and ERC 721. You take the fungible liquidity benefit with the non-fungible community, all that benefit of like unique ownership. And you put those two things together. And so while I was kind of skeptical on some of those early projects that it would like make sense right now, I said, I can see if you get the right people coming in with the right idea to build something more substantial, that this really comes to life. That's what this is to me. I see this and I'm like, yes, this is somebody taking this 404 concept and putting it into a much more substantial idea and a project. So as long as they don't fuck up the execution, I think this does really fucking well. Not financial advice.
All right. So we were showing off that pre-sale contract. Nothing is financial advice. We're not telling you to throw your ETH or anything, your hard-fought cash or whatever you use. Like, if you trade chickens for money or something, like just don't do anything that we say and trade your chicken for the ETH and then the ETH for the brainworms.
What are y'all doing in Virginia, bro?
Having chickens, raising chickens. You don't raise chickens? Oh yeah,
you're out there trading chickens on the weekend, bro.
It's LA. You guys didn't. Just wait for the apocalypse, sir. You guys are gonna be fucked. I'm gonna have my chicken eggs.
Dude, do you have
It's
chickens?
gonna be awesome.
For real?
No, but I'm starting my.
He clearly wants a few chickens.
I do.
He's trying to get his hands. He's gonna go trading this weekend.
Dude, eggs
Watch
are
out.
like gold, man. Eggs are like absolute gold, and non-GMO eggs. Oh man,
That's true.
I'm
Actually,
getting hard just thinking about it. I'm starting my germinating this week for my plants. But what's up?
No, I said no chickens, just little peckers. That's
Damn.
old joke.
Callback.
I want to. I know.
We can't let this man forget. We can't let him forget.
With WAGMI United, I don't know. I've been nostalgic on the past fucking rugs that we've gone through. I don't know.
All right. In the past 15 minutes, more money has flown to Machi Big Brother. 28,173,000 now. Which came first, the chicken or the ETH? A question of our time, Nick Swervis. The question of our time. All right, a lot to happen, a lot to check in on, and is happening over here on the Blast side. I do want to have that discussion before we close it out. Hood, I'm going to set you up again since we haven't seen you since last week, Friday. I'm taking a look at CryptoSlam here. Any developments on the volume side? I know you also like to use like several indicators when it comes to like health and maybe volume side, but what's going on?
Yeah, just in general, nice uptick in volume. I mean, it coincided with crypto bouncing a couple days ago. Nothing really noteworthy. I mean, it's just it's just people back to trading, feeling a little more confident about the market. But Ethereum is doing really well. It's kind of nice to see that, a little separation there. I'm just stuck on the BRC20 thing. I am. Like, it's like I've seen it time and time again now, and it's not like it happens that much, but a few cycles now, and you see BRC20s climbing the leaderboard, and kind of like meme coins we know cycle to NFTs. It's exactly what I see happen on Bitcoin here. So I've just made note of that every day here, especially this week, and I think we're about to cycle back to ordinals, probably in a big way too. Just like that feeling, man.
So what BRC20 specifically are people rotating into? Is this like stamps and things like that?
Well, so the top one up there is this one called Pi. So that's been the hottest one on over on the Binance marketplace, over on OKX, and then people trade them as inscriptions over here, like on the blockchain. So that's why they show as NFTs. They trade them differently. But that's the main one, and this other one called like Lego. Those are some of the bigger ones right now. I don't know the BRC20 ecosystem well. I haven't touched any since like OXBT. It's been a while, but I just know it's something to be watching.
All right, Easy and Crypto coming through with some great comments here. Nothing like homegrown eggs for real. Easy and Crypto saying also, I'm big on 50-50. Just in case he's saying guns and chickens. That's all you need. Guns, chickens, and water. There might be. What's that?
And tobacco.
And tobacco. Make sure you're growing it out back.
Guns, chickens, and tobacco. Country boy can survive, sir.
Hey, don't tease me with a good time here. All right, I'm going to take a look broadly at the market real quick, and then we'll jump into Blast. It looks like we're kind of standing at the edge of a small little cliff here. I mean, we could totally go up from here, but it's been a little shaky the last, I would say, maybe 72 hours. It's been some nice green, don't get me wrong, but if you look at a lot of these macro charts here on the right side, I'm trying to zoom in, but it's a little tough. You can see that most are kind of, inching downwards here. Who knows where we end up even tomorrow? But I could see maybe of a local top kind of forming here, and we get wrecked again. And
I mean,
we'll be right back.
KuCoin plus Coinbase news today. I mean, it's definitely it's things that typically would make us, I don't know. Tank.
That's fair. Yeah, it would.
We haven't yet, but I don't know. I feel like that's naturally what comes, but hopefully not.
The ETH ETF stuff is great. We really haven't hit on that stuff, especially with the staking piece of that as well. Staking always being seen as like, hey, if you're an Ethereum validator, are you processing transactions that potentially could fund terrorist organizations or bad activity? And for them to put staking in the actual, I know that's not necessarily the same thing, I guess, but there's something.
That's very fair. Yes, we should definitely try to prevent that and everything. But hey, here's an idea. Before we start like ultra focusing on this space, how about we do it in the traditional one where most of that fucking funding occurs? Please.
Can't have that. That's too sensible.
Well, and what Q's talking about, since he didn't really fully contextualize that, is that Fidelity, I believe, is the one, right? Fidelity.
What did I do, Give Dad?
I don't think you fully contextualized it. You're running ahead, and I'm just trying to make sure we bring everybody with us. I think what you're referring to is Fidelity.
Hold on, real quick. Let's reset the mic. Blah, 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 and go.
So Fidelity filed this Ethereum ETF, including staking. So this seems like a big deal. They are a massive asset manager, and it just seems like more pressure coming on the pro Ethereum ETF side of things. The staking thing is just an interesting part of it. I don't even fully understand what that means, other than they clearly believe Ethereum is not a security, or that this should be okay.
Yeah, what they want is the ability to stake Ethereum for their clients to earn the interest. So that's what it means.
Yeah, I guess what I is more confusing is sort of the whole conversation around what's a security and what's not. But clearly they're on the side of like, fuck it, like just give it to us, like, shut up and go away, Gary Gensler.
What's interesting though in the Coinbase, I don't even know what you call whatever happened here like today, but Ethereum was referenced once again as a commodity. So
yes,
whatever happened here today is actually maybe possibly helpful.
In the was it the KuCoin complaint? Now we're kind of crossing.
Yeah, it might have been. Yeah, I think you're right.
Well, there's there's the SEC and then there's the CFTC. Is that the other one? And this is part of what's so convoluted and confusing about this whole thing is that like most other countries don't have this like weird separation of securities and commodities that we have in the US. So I'm not entirely sure what the benefit of that is and why it was initially done that way. Maybe there was some kind of check and balance and that was the reason. But in this case with crypto specifically and trying to get to clear regulatory authority of like how do we manage this properly, it's been a complete clusterfuck because the CFTC or whatever they're called is supposed to be, I think, the commodities and in control of a bunch of other asset classes, while the SEC is supposed to just handle securities, but they've been sort of like trying to, you know, regulate by enforcement actions, things that are not even clearly secured. It's a fucking mess is the point.
Yeah, 100%. The whole system. I think Biggie was alluding to it too. You should clean up that. Although we all know they're just not going to do that, right? They're going to try to put the spotlight somewhere else.
Too much money in the inertial bureaucracy behind it, man.
Woo! Say that again.
There's too much fucking money in this revolving door bullshit between Washington, D.C. and Wall Street. The inertial bureaucracy is how they fucking get you. They get you coming and they get you going every single fucking time by just wasting your time, wasting your money. They're enriching themselves. Clip it.
Clip that shit.
It's goddamn beautiful.
Damn.
All right, inertial bureaucracy just sounds great. You don't have a lot of American, like English words that just sound okay. Cellar door, right?
Poetry.
Yeah, it is kind of poetry. All right, let's get into the biggest news of the past 24 hours. Again, this comes from Decrypt, who apparently is not hacked anymore. They're doing okay. They're reporting on Blast NFT game Munchables recovering $62 million worth of stolen funds in that exploit. There's also other applications or protocols that are attached to this, like Juice Finance. So typically when these exploits happen, there are contracts that are, interacting with each other that are also affected, and it seems to be the case. Reading further here, Munchables, which is on a recently launched Ethereum Layer 2 called Blast, but early this morning the team had good news. Okay, I need to go back to the actual hack announcement then. Pac-Man and the Munchables team commented on this. Pac-Man saying, look, everything's safe. We're pretty much good. 97 million has been secured in a multi-sig. There's an ex-dev that has returned all the funds. There's another whole side of this convo about the rollback that I want to have as well. But guys, give me your initial take here on the Blast exploit and what you make of it.
I hate everything about it. Everything. And especially that last point you mentioned there about the rollback. So I'm going to wait, for us to get into that. But I hate that it's playing out exactly like people thought it would play out over there, that there's going to be some pretty big rugs or hacks or whatever, right? I mean, this is a pretty nasty one. I hate that the idea is introduced to roll things back, like reset the chain in a way. If I understood that correctly, I think that's awful. And it just exposes that people don't care about the tech, really. They mostly don't. I mean, people just want to make some money. And I respect that. I get it entirely. But it's not the area that's... I don't love that part of the space. So again, I don't like anything in this story.
Did you see the post from Pompiliano today, Huda, saying that America has become a society full of gamblers? It's pretty good.
I didn't see it, but man, that sounds spot on.
Interesting from a guy who has been shilling Bitcoin since I've known him.
True. But you know what he's getting at. I think there's a little more nuances, more talking to what Huda was saying. I personally feel like this is one of those. I feel there's a roll back the tape moment here, Q. Pre-blast, like what we're talking about. Like, I'm not surprised. It's unfortunate, but I'm also like not saying it's over with Blast, but I do think when you set out and build these, casino, gamified, protocols, and that's the standard, and that's what you're gonna, I don't know. It's just like, are you really surprised that something like this happened, especially this early on in the chain? I'm not. Sorry, folks.
All right. So
and expecting a lot more of this, to be honest.
Yeah, some people felt, again, like they were maybe drinking the Kool-Aid, right? We get into this cult of worship, and all of a sudden Pac-Man is the greatest things in sliced bread, right? And it's like, yeah, he is. He's super fucking talented. Not everything hinges on him though, right? Like there's a whole team behind this building it out. There's people building on top of it. You have a whole bunch of bad actors coming into the space because it's a honeypot. We covered this. You can this is one of those moments. Roll back the motherfucking tape and just look at what we said before Blast launched. We had some reservations regarding it, right? Like just what I considered thoughtful considerations, when this was going on. And now you're seeing some of these things play out. And honestly, folks, not surprised.
But I also think too, like the people knew this risk was there, and like we're totally willing to take that risk because the upside is so massive, like so fucking
they
massive.
Say they're willing to take the risk. They put it in, but when when their funds are actually compromised, they're like, "Fuck."
That's,
you know what I mean?
That actually makes you think about
different.
I'm not gonna be like, this is the thing with BlockFi, right? Somebody brought up Pompliano in the chat as well. Like he was shilling BlockFi like crazy. So that statement is fucking whack by him, in my opinion, for what he's been doing in the space. I've liked his contributions, don't get me wrong, but that statement in particular is a little bit hypocritical. But yeah, BlockFi rugged both me and Biggie. I'm not over here like I could sit up here and fucking complain all day. Like, no, that's the risk we took. This is the space. Like, be a little bit more adult about this. But we've already had this combo. Most of retail doesn't really want to take the responsibility when on the other end of a 100x is a 0. and it's just, you have to be okay with those. All right, we're going to get to some other things. XNFT is making an interesting point about Blast as well. If there were no referral links and point farming, Blast would have been dead already.
But that's so core to what it is. I mean, yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It is what it is. I agree. I think I agree. I see both points here, but Huda, yeah, it is literally a farming. They've done that well with the marketing piece. They've added that in. Quantum Variant saying shit happens better than that. It happens sooner rather than later. Remember the ETH DAO hack. I think people have been a little critical on this comment here, and several others shared by the community, which I guess Saigar is a big proponent of Blast and a community member, but he's saying technically, in quotations or italics, technically, my friend told me that the Blast team could recover the 62 million lost in the Munchables exploit since they control the bridge contract that holds the bridge ETH. Staked ETH. It wouldn't set a good precedent for future exploits, but it is possible. An invalid state route would need to be forced by the Blast team, which would erase the hack transaction. So this is basically a rollback. This is what they're mentioning. Make it so it never happened. Wave the old blockchain magic wand. We control all the validators for the most part. We say this never happened, and go on our merry way.
But they didn't have to do that, though, is the other part of this.
And what's the takeaway from this, though, in my opinion? Because there's a very important, I think, lesson here for any newbies that might be watching, and for all of us that have been here for a good long while, right? And that is, not all blockchains are created equal. They are not the same. To say blockchain does not automatically mean censorship resistance, decentralization. It does not mean sovereignty.
Or looking at you, Base.
So just keep that in mind going forward when you bridge your funds to a different, because this is not solely isolated or a case for Blast. There are many other chains out there that can potentially do this, right? And again, this is about a president, right? Like all great fucking crimes when it comes to like law and stuff like that start with good intentions. They're justified, right? And then they start getting abused. So take that for what it's worth.
Well, and this is why people do talk about things like Nakamoto coefficients and how decentralized, how do you measure the decentralization, how many nodes in the network? Like, why does all this shit matter? Because it doesn't matter until it does, and then it really fucking matters. Because a lot of these chains are not especially decentralized. Because of how they start or they need to start, they are pretty centralized. And the idea with most of them, like Biggie's saying, is the intentions are over time, you become more decentralized and reach a certain point where you can't sort of like do these more centralized actions of, you know, censoring it or rolling it back or doing all these things. How many of them actually get there? And when does it get there? Does it get there before you get to one of these interesting flashpoints where it really fucking matters? Because, you know, you brought up Base as another example. I don't know exactly how decentralized they are, but I assume
Not
at this point they're not decentralized at all. And I think that that's actually one of the features that they like and that a lot of clients will like. But you can understand that there might come a point at any time where they're doing things on that chain that you don't fucking like. And then that might completely undermine the integrity of what a blockchain is supposed to represent or do. These do become really big issues when certain things happen. And this is an interesting sort of early case study for Blast. You know?
Yeah, understand that, like, to all these guys' points, this happened with Ethereum, right? This literally happened with the DAO hack, and yet we sit here and proclaim about the decentralization features of Ethereum now. So it is a spectrum that you work towards, but at one point, ETH literally rolled back to the chain so that they could save a certain amount of hundreds of millions of dollars of funds. And
that's why I think it's a little bit unfair to kind of treat Blast like they should already be where Ethereum is, because they shouldn't. They're not. And I don't think that this stops Blast at all. I think that, like, in the short to midterm, it'll cause some questions or some concerns, but I think that they're going to get past this fine. As long as, again, they can kind of figure out how not to see a bunch more of this. What, to me, the worst case scenario is that what happened with this becomes a persistent problem. And then you start to see another 50 million, another 10 million, another 100 million start to fucking disappear or get hacked. Then you're like, this is a broken, this doesn't work. This is fucked.
Yeah, that's my fear. And like, my gut, you know, I wonder where we'll fall. If it's like kind of in the middle, we're definitely going to see more of these. It's just how big, how frequent. Just, I worry that it might be a lot. We'll see.
Self-sovereignty has a cost. That's all I'll say. It has a cost and requires responsibility.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, like, we make sure that you place yourself directly into the left or right curve on this as well, because the people that backed Ethereum Classic, although they probably did well if you were, you know, a huge like early holder of that token and it ran up in the last cycle, like, clearly nothing's being built on that chain, like, when it comes to like the size that Ethereum has. So if you're going to take the decentralization maxi route, just be careful. Again, showing off that I think we talked about it, blockchain trilemma, right? Speed. So I want to say scalability, security, and decentralization, in not being able to fall outside of that. Like, at least at the current rate, I know people are trying to solve these things with things like parallelization, where you can have massive scalability without, you know, suffering any speed issues and things like this. So we'll see how that all plays out. It's interesting though. So a partner from, I'm gonna totally mess this up because it's a ridiculous name, Cinnamium.
Wow.
Ventures I have no idea. Like, is this a word?
But it sounds delicious.
Cinnamium Ventures
like
partner.
Ventures.
So let's say the Cinnamon Ventures partner here, Adam Cochran, argued that it would be on brand actually for Blast to intervene. Given that it doesn't seem off brand for them to intervene in defense of user experience, optimism is ethos alignment, but Blast is gamified social user experiment. While I'm strongly against this action on any other chain, I don't take Blast as a brand of serious decentralization chain.
It's just a big casino, and yeah, I agree.
It's pretty nuanced take there.
I agree.
No. I'm saying from Cinnamon. I'm not saying no. Who do I
Well, I agree, because again, I've always been a proponent of like specializing and like knowing what your thing is that you're trying to do, and not trying to be everything to everybody or compete with like fucking Ethereum, for instance. They're not trying to compete with Ethereum. They're trying to specialize into gamblify speculative tokenomics and like this native yield, like how do you create just a ton more value out of your native assets? Like they're going in a specific lane. They're not trying to be Ethereum. So I kind of agree with this. Like I just don't think that we should be trying to hold everybody to the same standard of a Bitcoin or Ethereum, because that's not what they are, and that's not what I think that they're trying to be at all.
All right, Juice Financing, please send us our blast points in gold. Our wrapped ETH lenders will be delighted. At the end of the day here, Pac-Man, we don't know if he's telling the truth with why this happened. Again, apparently they're saying the dev made off with nothing, right? Like, this is the statement from Pac-Man that's basically saying, all funds Seifu, now it's an ex-dev and we got everything back. Well, then what happened to the fucking dev and why did he do it? And so there's a lot of those questions that aren't going to be answered at all, I think. But it looks like it's good. I mean, any news is good news, is how I see it. Blast has really taken off here in the last 48 hours. More liquidity headed towards it. The tokens that I'm in over on Blast have done extremely well, even post-hack. So it feels like just a big nothing burger, and we're going to move on, and Blast even received more eyes on it than ever before.
Sounds like Solana.
Yeah. When airdrop comes and rewards, nobody's going to give a shit.
Well, and that's the thing is if you're providing a product that actually fits a need or that people want, then you can get past these snags. And Solana is a great example. Solana is doing fucking amazing now, despite the network going down almost once a month in like 2022, 2023, whenever that was. So it's just like, if you actually have something that is a legit innovation and people really fuck with it, it's not going to stop you. That's why I don't think it's going to stop anybody. And, you know, Biggie brings up a good point that there's always cost and risk. You know, Q, you're talking about this too. It's like, look, you're taking on a certain level of risk. And one of the things that came to mind, which is a weird parallel to draw, but anytime that you're moving quickly, there's going to be mistakes, but especially when you're trying to take on these massive undertakings. And that's what Pac-Man does. Pac-Man goes for like, what is the biggest fucking thing that I could build? These are huge undertakings. There's going to be snags along the way. It's about how do you manage those? And I've been impressed, and I'm not trying to overly glaze the dude. He's a super young dude though. And he seems to be handling a lot of these early issues pretty well from what I can tell. But it makes me think of something like the fucking Hoover Dam. That's the weird parallel. It's like, that was such a huge undertaking when it was built, and there was people fucking dying left and right on that. It's tragic. But also at the end of the day, you built like one of the most impressive human fucking structures. So I don't know. That's kind of what I take, is that like, this guy's a fucking legit builder. Like someone like an Elon Musk. People don't fucking, like, a lot of people hate Elon Musk, but you can't deny
they hate him.
Yeah, you can't deny the results of what this fucking guy has done for society. You know what I mean? So that's just what I think. And yeah, maybe that's glazing him too hard. Maybe it's too young and too early, but
we really have to speed run the next few announcements here. God damn it, people. God damn it. All right. I'm gonna head this over Huda's way, but not for what he thinks, because Huda, giving a shout out to NFT Live, but he's now a baby Kong. Huda, do you want? I mean, you don't have to like say the story, but you can do a brief TLDR.
I'll do the brief version, because I'm gonna write a nice little thread as a thank you. This was like my original baby Kong that I got years ago. Like, this was my entry into the CyberKongs community, and like, it's super sentimental. I love this thing. I sold it, I want to say about 4 months ago. I needed to. There were reasons. I sold them. And I thought I was like maturing as a trader and moving on and not getting attached to stuff. And truth is, when I saw another person with it and tweeting and making it their PFP and stuff, and every time I saw, I'm like, God, that hurts. Like, that sucks. I love that little guy. Anyway, I was doing my live show like 2 days ago, and the guy who has it, great guy, Lima.Ron, he was there watching, listening, sending some messages. And so during the show, I was showing him, and this guy's cool as fuck. I was so glad he got it, if anybody. But I showed him this thing that my daughter made, right? Like, that's my baby Kong. And I don't know. Something, maybe it touched him. He's a dad too. He sent that back to me. He gifted me that baby Kong back, which that is the thing. People talk about the Kongs and their building and their technical skills and, just all that, all those awesome things they have going on. But it always has been and always will be their community that makes them so special. There's a lot of great communities out there, but there is something different, like the brotherhood and sisterhood in that community. nothing like it. So I love that dude. It was so cool of him to do. Can't believe he did that. And yeah, I'm gonna kind of fill out that story more later in a tweet.
That's beautiful.
But thank you, brother. That was incredible.
Yeah, man. That's I wanted to highlight that. That's fucking cool. All right, I'm gonna speed run these next couple. First of all, okay, I could show you the Beeple piece. Not sure what's going on in this photo, but it looks like North Korea, Zach XBT, and Pac-Man are getting together. This actually seems pretty funny.
So my understanding is that the devs were Korean or maybe North Korean, I guess. So the hacker or whoever, was doing this. So that's what this is. And dude, straight up fucking Zach XBT is the closest thing to a real life Batman. Straight up. This guy is doing incredible things in this space and has the joke right now is like, if you see this penguin in your DMs or in your comments, just give it back, bro. Just give it back. And like literally to have that kind of power where you've created such a fucking reputation, you have such a track record that people see it and it literally stands for like justice is here. You better fucking hide. Like that's Batman. That's the bat signal, dude.
Dude, I never made that association, and it's so fucking spot on. Like, I picture if Zach XBT ever sent you a DM, the fear you would feel instantly. Instantly. Yeah. Doesn't matter if you did nothing wrong.
It's like he just threw one of those little bat ninja stars, and it just landed next to your head, and you look at it, and you're like, oh, fuck. Like,
damn.
Yeah.
All right, I got to speed run this, fellas. We have to close out the show here relatively shortly. There is a say update here from Silo and the Cappies. The farmers are hard at work on the farm, and the Cappies NFTs are helping. Proud to announce our collab with the Cappies superheroes that say needs.
Cappies are hard workers, man. Look at him.
He's working real hard.
Work. Efficient, but it's still hard work, man. Somebody got to do it.
Who's farming corn at this time of the year? Can we go back to this farming discussion? That harvest isn't for a long time. All right, next. Coder Dan has done a great work here, and I've always been a stand for Ghost and for Avagachi, but this seems like, dude, we've been talking to you. We've been trying, Coder Dan, to tell you about all of this shit for the longest time. You were just heads down building, because at this point, you're already talking about moving to base, all this stuff, and this has come out as an announcement, and you're still asking why all these meme coins are thriving on Solana, Base, Ethereum, and not Polygon? This was a question you needed to ask 2 years ago.
Yeah.
A year ago, bro.
At least a year.
Yeah, a year ago. You know what I mean.
We're still all. Do you have an Avagachi holder?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so we're all Avagachi holders here, and we love this project to death.
Yep.
Can you please stop? I'd be happy to have this philosophical discussion with you in Avagachi land, but for the time being, just go where people are enjoying themselves.
Stop asking questions and just fucking do it.
Yeah,
we'll come on as advisors for whatever the fuck we need to do. Coder Dan, clearly y'all are building cool shit. That's a really tone deaf question that is being asked by a founder of a project.
Trina, please clip this and send it to him. He needs to hear it.
I do think that tone deaf is the right term for this, because we've literally been saying this. It feels like the Kamigami thing, dude. Except that this has been going on. This has been going on for better part of a year, at least 6 months. We've been talking about do something else, move to Ronin, anywhere else. And so if you're the founder and the leader of a project, man, you have to be more agile and paying attention to what's going on in the bigger market. This narratives, timing, liquidity, the bigger community, what's happening in the space, trends. You have to understand that all of this shit matters.
Guys, and you should have seen the booth that they had at ETH Denver.
I'm sure.
The amount of people that were there just gobbling up the merch, talking to people, man.
People love it.
To my man T-Bird.
We love it. Everybody loves it.
Such a fucking amazing community, such a crazy cool brand. Just all in all, amazing. Just why still on fucking Polygon? That's
it's just that we've been yelling at them for so long, and I know Choina has probably gone back to them multiple times after hearing. He said that. He's literally said that. He's like, yeah, I had the conversation. They were like, no, we're still forging ahead. It's like, Fucking goddamn it, Coder Dan! I'm getting in your fucking DMs. We'll be talking. Huda, what do we have? What's up?
I'd love to have him come visit us and tell us and have that discussion. You know, we're fans. Anyway.
The one thing that I'll throw on this is that what Aavegotchi feels like to me is they fall very much into this. It's sort of that engineers and like really hardcore big brain giga chad left brain types fall into, where it's like they just don't understand the soft skills, the communication. Why does all that matter? Look at my tech, look how cool the shit is that we're building. It's like, yes, but if you cannot get it distributed to the masses and figure out how to communicate it or put it in front of people, it doesn't matter, bro. The best tech doesn't win. So just that's what it reminds me of, is they got a bunch of big brain giga chad engineers working on that shit and building cool stuff. They've got to figure out the right brain stuff. They got to figure out how to put it in front of people and get it out to more people. And I think they are doing that. I think they're starting to get that. But that question to me, it feels like it's coming from that like detached left brain side of things.
Yeah. Marty's saying Q, I'm also a prepper. Easy and Crypto saying gotcha gang. Nick Swerve is saying Zach can get Diddy next. Doobie is saying Zach XVT is a legend. Justin says he's like Tyson in his prime. All
Dude,
right,
that Diddy shit is weird.
I haven't
bro.
even looked in. I haven't even looked into it. I don't want to know.
2.0, right?
I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Grab both at 1940s. What do we got here, Huda? And then one last update. And then we'll
dude, it's just this is playing out exactly how I kind of thought it would, and I it's again making me even more bullish. You got art guys from Ethereum that are getting in here and collecting rares and talking about this. So this is Zach from Super Rare. He's there. I think they're SVP, one of their dudes. And then I saw somebody from Christie's tweet out that they bought their first ordinal. So like, yeah, it's just I'm seeing all the right ingredients come here. You got influencers, again, the art guys from ETH. This is it's a collection.
I appreciate the context. I'm really glad that you shared this next piece too, because I think this is super contextual for the conversation we just had about Aavegotchi. You're talking about a team that has been building for so long, maybe a little bit undervalued, and then made the right move.
Yeah. Yep.
Cyberkongs. 100%. They are on another trajectory since their move to Ronin. You can see Easy Eats is talking about it here. Honestly, the Cyberkongs move to Ronin has been one of the most overlooked moves this cycle. Working with the Ronin network has let me dive heavily into all that's going on there. He's pretty much in love with what Cyberkongs is doing. Play and collect now on Ronin, you're missing out. So yeah, really contextual this combo.
And I think you're right. It's a great comparison because they were both kind of in similar-ish spots, you could say, 6 months ago to a year ago.
Yeah.
And one of them is on a very different trajectory right now because they made this move early in the cycle.
That's
one of the coolest.
Yep.
Oh, go ahead, Q.
No, I think Giff was mentioning there the timing. I think we're still okay to do it, but Cyberkongs clearly front ran it. I mean, they were doing Genkai and a couple of these other things while we were still in the bear.
Yeah. They're going to be, they didn't really. Okay, I was going to say they're going to be one of the coolest comeback stories we've seen in NFTs. They didn't really fall though, like they didn't really come back. It's just that, you can't stay in favor forever. It's just people got excited about the new hot things, and sometimes you can get left behind. So that's maybe a better way to put it. They were definitely getting left behind. They made all the right moves to bring the energy back. They moved homes to a very, great blockchain. It's cool to see.
I don't think the comparison from Cyberkongs to even like a Doodles is that far out of realm. And so when you say fall, clearly they didn't like completely fall on their ass or something like that, like maybe a gutter cat gang, but they definitely had this Doodles effect where it's like anything they did, it just didn't hit, and you were kind of wondering where do they go from here, and they made the right moves.
Yeah, speaks volumes for the team, and I'm so happy for them because I know how hard they work. And I'll say this, just last comment about them, for the first time, like working with projects on like whitelist stuff with CryptoSlam. I've talked to a lot of great people at across all these different phenomenal projects, but the Kongs operate on a different level. Like they have got this tight, well-oiled machine behind the scenes, and I've not seen any other project like it. It's impressive shit.
All right, that is the last thing I had on my agenda here. I think we could probably look at this Machi raise here one last time. 29 mil, a new 1 million was added into that contract while we were still live.
So he's at a rate of like $1 million every 30 minutes. So roughly $2 million an hour right now is getting dumped into that.
Biggie, you got something?
No, that's fucking crazy, dude. See how it performs. I don't know. I think I'm gonna pass on this one. Yeah.
Too rich for my blood.
This is either gonna blow, like, it's either gonna melt faces or it's gonna blow up.
I feel like the one that you showed off earlier, what is it called?
Brainworms.
Brainworms is going to do much better from a risk return standpoint. So, all right, we're going to be watching the market here over the next 24. We're kind of teetering in a couple different spots. We'll see if we have like a brief pullback. Obviously, we're thinking we're up and to the right for the remainder of the year, but we're following this on a daily basis. So it's worthy.
I think BTC hits another all-time high before the halving. I'm sticking to that prediction.
All right, guys, let's go around the quad box here. Biggie Poppins, Huda, and Gifted. Please send us out GIF. But OVOT, appreciate y'all. We'll see you tomorrow. We are going to give away one whitelist spot for the CryptoSlam NFT. That's going to be over in the requirements we already laid out. So it's almost too late. If you guys want to join that, you can go over to CryptoSlam. Look at the quote tweet they just made. I'll put it one last time just to get as many folks in here as possible. And drop a 50-50 meme in there. But Biggie Poppins, go ahead.
Are we saying goodbye or what? Oh, we are. Okay. OVOT fam, make sure to unplug. This space is fucking wild sometimes. You got a significant other, maybe dance some lambada, salsa, merengue, cumbia. I don't care. Whatever it is you dance, you know, shake off those crazy vibes, and we'll see you tomorrow. Love you.
Easy, specifically for you, I saw like early on you made a comment about the hat, which I fucking love the hat too. So we've got like this internal CryptoSlam store. I went to go look at it to buy some hats. There's none. I don't know what I'm going to do when this one, like, you know, kind of gets worn out. I'm a little worried about that, but I heard they're going to get back in stock. When they are, I'm grabbing us both the hats. So stay tuned for that, buddy. Easy's fucking awesome, by the way. Love that dude.
Oh yeah.
Easy's a fucking ledge. Y'all, OVOT. I'm gonna go probably ape more into brainworms. Appreciate y'all.